Welcome to Shorty's SuperCoach. What is going on, guys? Shorty's back for the final press conference of the year. Crazy times. It goes quick. It really does. But good luck to... I say good luck, but I'm also mean I hope you won your grand finals. I've been saying good luck for finals for a few weeks now, but I hope you won your grand finals. Comment below if you did get the W. Shorty had an absolutely stress-free weekend in terms of SuperCoach, which, look, I would have welcomed the stress. I wasn't in any grand finals. I already had my draft grand finals with mixed results. So it was pretty cruisy. It was weird, to be honest. I didn't have that extra bit of stress or real intensity focus on when you're watching a game, watching a certain player and that sort of thing. It was great. I just put my feet up and enjoyed the footy for what it is. Good to do that one round a year out of 23, but no, we love it. We do love it, but yeah, that's it. I'll check my side in a minute. It wouldn't be a final press conference if Shorty didn't give a little Tinder story just to finish things off. I'll give you that in a moment. But yeah, I just wanted to thank you guys for the year. I will be doing some content through the finals, maybe just some same game multi stuff. I am doing a quiz night probably in the week leading up to finals, so not next, and it'll probably be a Tuesday or a Thursday, so probably the 30th or the 1st of September. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll just, like my normal quiz I do on my live sessions, I'll just do more of them, but probably more specific to, certain categories and just have a few more questions. So yeah, that should be a bit of fun, a bit of banter. So yeah, I'd love you to get along to that if you like. But Shorty's finished work for the night, bit of a later one. I was really trying to get out of there today, but just had one fella he was really on for a chat towards the end of the night. I'm like, mate, it's 9:15 on a Sunday. I'm ready to go. I don't care about these Sunday rates, brother. I'm off. But he was on for a chat. He's a nice guy. But Shorty wanted to get out of there. But let's get stuck into a little Tinder story, shall we? And this is recent. This is fresh. And honestly, I feel kind of like a dick. I'll explain in a minute. So this story, or this young lady, has actually featured in a Tinder story on this channel before. Now, it was a while ago that I caught up with her, right? Now, I matched with this young lady a couple of days ago. No, it was last night, Saturday night. And I'll read you out the messages. Now, the backstory is I only saw her once, and she was bald at the time. New photos, I didn't recognise her. Fucking so bad. I'm such a dick. But let me read you the messages. So she sends the first message. Did I see you in Torquay a few weeks ago? And I'm thinking, well, half a chance. I'm down there a bit. I say, it'd be very likely I'm down that way a lot. Haha. Whereabouts? At the playground. Which a lady and her kids. I think she meant with a lady and her kids. And at that point, I'm thinking, I don't really recognise you on your photos because you've got hair now. and I do not recall hanging around a playground with a family. But anyway, so at this point I'm thinking she's got me confused with someone else. I said, don't know if that was me then, but maybe we should see each other around Torquay sometime. Jeez, I forgot I said that. Man, at this point she must be thinking, this guy does not remember me. What a cunt. She could be accurate. I swear it was you because we kept looking at each other. And I say, oh, really? Haha. You sure? With a wink face. And then she says, look, I'm doubting myself now, but at the same time, I thought we both recognised each other, but maybe I was just staring at a complete stranger. I say, I must admit you do look familiar, but I don't remember being in a playground or at a playground. Because she did look, when you sort of see her face and you're like, yeah, she definitely looks familiar. I'm thinking, have I seen her out at town before or something? Anyway, and then she says, wait, you don't remember me. And at that point I'm thinking, oh, what? Because I'm thinking, she's like, you don't remember me from the playground? And I'm like, that's a different guy, mate. That's a different guy. But as it would pan out, I probably should have remembered her. I said, I might be confused. You do seem pretty memorable. Garbage. I haven't reread this, so that's corny at its finest. And then she says, you've been to my house. Then I was like, fuck, straight on the profile. I'm looking through, and then I was like, fucking what? what are we talking about here? Like, who is? And then it started to click. I'm like, oh my goodness. And she's like, just laughs and said, yeah, you did. And then it sort of clicked. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Of course I remember you. And then she's like, tell me one thing you remember about me. I'm like, oh, she's testing me. But I passed with flying colours because I do remember it. I'm not an absolute dick who sees someone once and then totally forgets about him. But had me absolutely rattled. It was 18 months ago or so, something like that. And yeah, I think she might have been going through an early 20s crisis or something because she shaved her head. Shorty was hanging out with a bald chick. And yeah, 18 months on. Like, now I look at it, I go, oh yeah, of course I recognise that face. But at the time when it's just a Tinder match and she looks very different, oh, I was lost. I was lost. But man, I felt like a dick. Absolute wanker when I didn't remember her at first. But yeah, it had me rattled. Now I'm sort of thinking, did you see me at the playground? Because I don't remember that. Like, what is going on here? But anyway, I'll keep you posted on how that one turns out. I don't really know what's going to go on with that, but that was pretty random. So, don't get me wrong. The Tinder stories will be back next year. Got a couple in the holster, but I like to send them through, at peak audience time, so everybody gets the love. It's more of a early in the year sort of operation, but I do appreciate all you diehards that have stuck around with the SuperCoach in general, but the channel as well, deep into the season. You are the true fans. So I appreciate everyone who jumps on the live stream and is watching this right now, because a lot of people do drop off come this stage of the season. But how did we go? 2,350 and a little bit of a drop in rank and basically 13,000th overall. I'll discuss my thoughts on how I went overall in a minute, but I'll just quickly touch on my team. Sinclair, Stewart, and Pendlebury all turned up really nicely. I know a few people were quite worried about Sinclair. Obviously copped the Ryan Clark tag last time, but he was really solid. Ridley didn't play well, nor did Crisp. Look, both of those guys have been a bit of a disaster. Particularly Crisp in the second half of the year, and Ridley just doesn't belong on the field. He's a solid contributor, and he's been better in recent weeks, but he's always capable of a 64. And Jaden Shorty's finished with a reasonable couple of weeks to finish the year. I'm hoping they can just send him back to halfback, and he can be a handy pickup next year at a reasonable price. Laird was me C. I put the VC on Darcy. I didn't want to go Neil or Oliver, who both scored well, but you wouldn't have taken the VC. I just wanted something a little bit different. In the end, it didn't work, and just banged the C on old mate Rory Laird, who's reliable as ever. Oliver, great. Miller, solid. Petrarca, really nice. From about 23 touches, too. Super effective. And Neil copped a bit of attention, but, still finds a way. Not sure how Cripps only scored 121. The way that sounded on the radio really sounded like a 150 job, but what happened to those Blues too, guys? Holy shit. I'm an excited Cats man, getting ready to go to the G for a final against Collingwood, because we probably a better chance against Fremantle, but gee whiz, nothing better than taking on the Pies at the G. 7 clangers, so it's not ideal from Patrick, but 35 touches and massive contested numbers. Few handballs in there might have contributed, but nonetheless, he's been a bit of a roller coaster, Paddy, this year, up and down, in and out of the side at times with injury. But at the end of the day, 111 average is reasonably solid. Definitely hurt us with some injuries at times throughout the year. Brayshaw fought back after a pretty quiet first half, and McRae, he's down from his 120 average, which has been 120 plus for a number of years now, 115, and be interesting to see how he develops throughout the rest of his career, whether those 120 days are over or whether it's just a slight role change that saw him a little bit out of the centre bounce. But Witts was solid, and I touched on Darcy before. Bailey Smith has been a disgusting option. It's been an absolute howler. So at the time, I really thought Bailey would return to some really good form. He did not, but what hurts even more is that, tell you what, one thing you can rely on is me not realising that my recording has ended. So there we go. What was I talking about? Bailey Smith. And what really makes it painful is that I was tossing up between him and Zach Butters. And Butters has ended with some beautiful scores, 120 plus most weeks. And Smith didn't even turn up in his last month. So that hurts, and it goes down as, just adds it to a reasonable list of selections that really hurt me in the second half of the year, which I'll touch on in a sec. Tim Taranto, what's going on? Shout out to you, mate. Luke Parker's rock solid as always. Dunkley, likewise. Bontempelli, another fantastic season from him. Timmy English turned up after an indifferent sort of last 6 to 7 weeks. He's always better when Steph Martin is on the sidelines. And yeah, obviously Mitch Duncan, a bit of a mystery injury there for a while. It sounds like it's a hip concern. But yeah, look, so my season overall, look, not overly stoked with it, to be fair. If we dive into my history, and I reckon at one stage I was knocking on the door of the top 5,000, and I normally pride myself on what's happened in previous years, is I haven't had a great starting squad, but I've always traded well, and actually worked in reverse this year. I actually had a nice starting squad, was in the mix, and made some horrendous trades, which I'll touch on in a second, which just undid me. So, as you can see, overall rank, not a great round one. Then, really after a month was around the top 10,000. Had a great round 6 there with a overall or weekly ranking inside the top 3,000, which boosted me up 8,000 spots. And then I slowly made it into nearly top 5,000 after a few really nice weeks. But then, sort of since round 8 and 9, just went the absolute other way. Was able to fight back in the top 10k around round 12, but the buys just, proved difficult. And then really, I think I ended up busting out to 17,000th overall and fought back to an extent, but a mixture of untimely injuries from the likes of Hewitt, Stewart suspension, Dustin Martin, Paddy Cripps, different things like that. So just didn't quite happen for me. So to be in the top 5k or around that mark really was my goal in the first 8 to 10 weeks, and I was there. But it was selections like Tim Taranto, which I got horribly wrong, and I still think he'll be a really good option next year, particularly if he changes clubs, becomes the main man at another midfield squad. Dustin Martin proved horrendous as well. I was optimistic on what he could be, would hoped that he would eventually be an F7. Just didn't happen. And even just things like Mitch Duncan and a positional change from Jaden Short. And I never wanted Jordan Ridley to eventually be on my field. I really wanted to have him as D7, but it didn't work out because Hewitt got injured. And Crisp I would have liked to get rid of, but I had other things that I needed to do. Midfield was, pretty solid, really. I was happy with that, to be fair. But let me just see if I can just have a look at my trades. Where do you look at your trades? Oh, I should know where you can. I swear it used to be way easier to look at your trades. Trade history. There you go. So let's have a look here from, say, when it went wrong. So obviously I traded. So what also hurt was ditching Cornelio, ditching Brody, not getting Darcy Cameron, not getting Harry Himmelberg. So they were some things that really, really cost me. And when you look back, there's some trades that just bring a fucking tear to your eye. It really is, But more recently, I think trying to just pick up, remember when I brought in Angwin? Get out. Butters going out, that hurt as well. That was something that was disappointing. And Duncan was good when Stewart was out, but overall not great. Bringing Taranto back, he just hasn't been the guy that I wanted. And, even someone like Pendlebury, has been solid without being great. And there's the Bailey Smith one. So, yeah, just, bringing Martin in there, really thought he'd be so much better. And, yeah, obviously, probably just probably underestimated how well Cornelio and Brody was going. Particularly mad at the Brody one because Cornelio, I can't argue with my decision there because he was playing a different role. I traded him out. And then a week later, the coach was under pressure, and then the coach was gone, and then Canelio was back in the middle. So I can't really foresee that stuff. The Brody one, I really thought Fife coming back would make more of a difference. I thought he was playing above himself, but got that wrong. And I just didn't back in Harry Himmelberg at the time. Got that wrong. And Darcy Cameron, I thought I didn't see the point in the trade because I thought Grundy would be back round 15, 16. Proved very wrong on that front. And, so they're the things that kill you. And in a really big competition with a lot of social media about what to do and a lot of knowledge out there in the SuperCoach world, a lot of people, built really good teams. And you just make a couple of errors like that and you're well behind the pace. So, how are we going for time? We're going all right. But, so they were the things that really cooked me. But we'll be back bigger and better next year. Don't get me wrong, Shorty will be back. And as I always say, you come for the SuperCoach, but you stay for the banter. So I'm not here sitting saying I'm bloody the SuperCoach wizard. I like to be as competitive as I can, and would have liked to have gone better at the business end of the year, but it's not to be. I was salty at times throughout the year, but we front up on a Sunday, and we'll do it all again next year. So I look forward to chatting to you guys, hopefully on the live session, which will be the last one in a week or so, for the quiz night. And obviously, chuck your comments in below. I'd love to know how you went in all your finals and that. But I'll be back. Obviously the videos will slow down now, which I always look forward to a little bit of a break. There's no doubt about that. But equally, once we start to get 2-3 months down the track, the bug for SuperCoach really returns. I'm already thinking about guys I'm going to chuck on my side for next year. So that's what we do. We're obsessed with this game. But can't wait for finals footy as well. So I'll talk to you all soon. I've really enjoyed the ride this year. It's been great. And we'll chat soon. Cheers, guys.